Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we journey deep into the mystical world of ancient Egyptian spirituality, exploring the powerful symbol of the Eye of Horus. More than just an ancient icon, this sacred eye represents protection, healing, and divine insight. But could it also be a spiritual guide in our modern lives? Join us as we decode its hidden meanings, unravel its mythological roots, and discover how this timeless symbol can awaken your inner wisdom. Ready to unlock the secrets of the ancients? Let's dive into the mystery of the Eye of Horus, your gateway to higher consciousness. Ancient Egyptian mysticism. The Eye of Horus as a spiritual guide. Ancient Egyptian mysticism is one of the most profound and influential spiritual systems in human history. With its intricate symbolism, deep understanding of the cosmos, and devotion to the divine order Ma'at, it continues to inspire seekers of wisdom today. Among its many powerful symbols, the Eye of Horus stands out as a mystical emblem of protection, healing, intuition, and spiritual insight. While it is often seen as just an ancient icon, the Eye of Horus carries deep esoteric meanings that can serve as a spiritual guide in our modern lives. In this exploration, we delve into the mythology behind the Eye of Horus, its symbolic components, and its potential role as a tool for personal transformation, protection, and awakening higher consciousness. The mythological origins of the Eye of Horus. To understand the Eye of Horus as a spiritual guide, we must begin with its mythological roots in Egyptian cosmology. Horus, the falcon-headed god, was the son of Osiris, god of the afterlife, and Isis, goddess of magic and healing. When Osiris was murdered by his brother Set, who represented chaos and destruction, Horus sought to avenge his father and restore balance to the universe. In a fierce battle with Set, Horus lost his left eye. The eye was later restored by Thoth, the god of wisdom, writing, and magic. This act of restoration became symbolic of healing, wholeness, and the return to cosmic order. The myth doesn't just depict a physical battle. It represents the eternal conflict between order and chaos, light and darkness, and spiritual ignorance versus enlightenment. The Eye of Horus, then, is not only a symbol of physical sight, but also spiritual vision, the kind of seeing that goes beyond the material world. The anatomy of the eye, sacred geometry, and symbolism. The Eye of Horus, also known as the Wadjet, is composed of 6 parts, each representing a different human sense and fraction, forming a complete unit when combined. This suggests the eye was also a symbol of holistic perception, a union of physical and spiritual faculties. Here's a breakdown of its 6 parts. Smell 1/2, the right side of the eye. Sight 1/4, the pupil. Thought 1/8, the eyebrow. Hearing 1/16, the left side of the eye. Taste 1/32, the curved tail. Touch 1/64, the teardrop. These fractions add up to 63/64, with the final 1/64 often interpreted as the mystical unseen part, the part that can't be quantified or fully understood through material senses. This final missing piece represents divine consciousness, the mystical component of perception that comes only through spiritual awakening. This mathematical design is no accident. It reflects how the Egyptians saw the universe, as a blend of logic and spirit, of precise measurement and unmeasurable mystery. The eye, in this context, becomes a guide to whole being awareness, to see and sense the world completely, not just through logic, but through intuition and spiritual insight. Symbol of protection and power. Throughout Egyptian history, the Eye of Horus was used as a protective amulet. Known as a wedjat or ujat, it was commonly worn or placed in tombs to ward off evil, protect the soul, and ensure safe passage into the afterlife. But its protective quality is more than physical. It serves as a reminder to guard the mind and spirit against destructive forces, both external, like harmful energies or people, and internal, like fear, doubt, or ego. In mystical practices, symbols like the Eye of Horus are often invoked for spiritual shielding, acting as a psychic armor. In this sense, working with the Eye of Horus can remind modern seekers to stay aware of what energies they invite into their lives and to protect their mental, emotional, and spiritual space from disharmony. The Eye as an inner compass, awakening spiritual insight. One of the most powerful ways the Eye of Horus functions as a spiritual guide is through its connection to the third eye chakra, the seat of intuition, higher vision, and inner knowing. The Eye of Horus and the third eye Ajna chakra in Eastern traditions both emphasize perceiving beyond physical reality. They teach us to trust our inner voice, develop our intuitive capacities, and align with universal wisdom. In meditation, visualization, or dream work, focusing on the Eye of Horus can stimulate the pineal gland, often associated with the third eye, promote clarity of thought, and sharpen inner vision, facilitate downloads of intuitive knowledge, encourage alignment with divine will or cosmic order. By meditating on this symbol, we invite its ancient frequency into our consciousness. It becomes not just something we look at, but something we look through, a lens that helps us see the spiritual truths behind material illusions. Balance and healing. Integration of duality. Horus's story is deeply connected with duality. His battle with Set represents the balance between order and chaos, light and shadow. In spiritual development, we often face these same polarities within ourselves, conflicts between the higher self and the ego, between desire and discipline, between fear and faith. The Eye of Horus can serve as a spiritual guide through these inner battles by encouraging us to integrate, rather than reject, our shadow side. Just as Horus's eye was destroyed and then healed, we are called to face our wounds and restore our spiritual vision. This symbolic healing process involves acknowledging our pain or blind spots, applying wisdom, Thoth's role, to transform them, emerging with deeper wholeness and insight. In this way, the eye becomes not just a symbol of seeing, but of being whole, of embracing both light and darkness to form a balanced and empowered self. Practical applications in modern spiritual practice. Bringing the Eye of Horus into your spiritual life can take many forms. Here are some practical ways to use it as a guide. 1. Meditation. Sit quietly with an image of the Eye of Horus. Visualize it glowing at the center of your forehead. As you breathe deeply, imagine it opening, awakening your inner vision. Ask for clarity on a specific situation or simply invite intuitive guidance. 2. Dream work. Place the eye under your pillow or visualize it before sleep. It may assist in receiving symbolic dreams or deeper understanding of subconscious material. 3. Protection rituals. Use the Eye of Horus as part of a ritual for protection. Draw it in salt, carve it into a candle, or wear it as an amulet. Set the intention to shield your energy and stay aligned with divine order. 4. Journaling. Reflect on what the Eye of Horus means to you personally. What part of your life needs healing, balance, or greater vision? Use it as a mirror for self-inquiry. 5. Art and creativity. Incorporate the eye into your creative work, drawing, painting, or designing spiritual tools. Creative expression is a powerful way to anchor mystical energy into the physical world. Universal lessons from the Eye of Horus. At its core, the Eye of Horus teaches us to see with clarity, not just with our eyes, but with our soul. Heal what is broken, knowing restoration is possible with divine assistance. Protect what is sacred, especially our inner peace and spiritual path. Integrate duality, embracing both the light and the shadow as essential parts of growth. Trust intuition, using it as a compass for navigating the unseen dimensions of life. These lessons are just as relevant today as they were in ancient times. As the world becomes more complex and chaotic, symbols like the Eye of Horus call us back to inner wisdom, reminding us that real power comes from awareness, balance, and spiritual connection. The Eye of Horus is more than an artifact of a distant past. It is a timeless guide for spiritual seekers. Rooted in myth, shaped by sacred geometry, and alive with esoteric meaning, it offers protection, insight, and a map to wholeness. In our modern lives, where distractions abound and clarity is often elusive, symbols like the Eye of Horus serve as anchors to ancient truth. They invite us to see with the eyes of the soul, to awaken our inner sight, and to live in harmony with the divine order that underpins the universe. Whether used in meditation, ritual, or daily reflection, the Eye of Horus remains a powerful spiritual ally, guiding us not just to look outward, but to truly look within. The magic of the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus, one of the most iconic and enduring symbols of ancient Egypt, is a powerful emblem rich with spiritual, magical, and mathematical significance. Also known as the Wedjat or Udjat, the Eye of Horus has fascinated scholars, mystics, and artists for centuries. But what exactly is the magic behind this mysterious eye? To understand its true power, we must explore its mythological roots, symbolic meanings, and its influence across time. Mythological origins. The story of Horus and Set. The Eye of Horus originates from one of the central myths of ancient Egyptian religion, the struggle between Horus and Set. Horus, the falcon-headed god, was the son of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and Isis, the goddess of magic. According to myth, Set, the god of chaos and storms, murdered Osiris out of jealousy and dismembered his body. Isis, using her magical powers, reassembled Osiris and conceived a child, Horus. When Horus came of age, he sought revenge against Set to claim his rightful place as the ruler of Egypt. The two gods engaged in a fierce battle, during which Horus lost his left eye. In some versions of the myth, the eye was torn out by Set and broken into pieces. The eye was later restored and healed by the god Thoth, the deity of wisdom and writing. This act of restoration transformed the Eye of Horus into a symbol not only of power and protection, but also of healing and renewal. Symbolic meanings of the Eye of Horus. The magic of the Eye of Horus lies in its complex and layered symbolism. Each part of the eye corresponds to a specific human sense, showing how the Egyptians viewed it as more than just a symbol. It was a holistic representation of perception and consciousness. The Eye of Horus consists of 6 parts, each representing a fraction and a sense. 1/2, smell, right side of the eye. 1/4, sight, pupil. 1/8, thought, eyebrow. 1/16, hearing, left side of the eye. 1/32, taste, curved tail. 1/64, touch, teardrop or spiral. Each of these parts together was believed to make a whole eye, though the sum of the fractions, 1/2 plus 1/4 plus 1/8 plus 1/16 plus 1/32 plus 1/64, adds up to 63/64. The missing 1/64, according to myth, was completed by Thoth's magic. This final missing piece is said to represent the mystery or imperfection of reality, and it symbolizes divine intervention or healing, the very essence of spiritual magic. This mathematical precision showcases how the Egyptians combined science, symbolism, and myth in their worldview, believing that the divine resided in even the smallest fractions of the universe. Magical properties and uses in ancient Egypt. To the ancient Egyptians, the Eye of Horus was more than a religious symbol. It was a powerful, magical amulet. Known as a wedge eye, it was commonly used in funerary rites, jewelry, and as protection against evil. 1. Protection against evil. The Eye of Horus was often worn as a protective amulet by both the living and the dead. It was believed to ward off evil spirits, the evil eye, and harmful energies. Soldiers would wear it in battle, sailors would paint it on ships, and everyday Egyptians would carry it to protect against illness and misfortune. 2. Healing and restoration. Because of its mythological origin, having been broken and restored, it symbolized healing and wholeness. It was used in healing rituals, particularly those overseen by priests of Thoth or Isis. The eye's restorative nature made it an ideal charm for recovering from illness, surgery, or emotional trauma. 3. Afterlife protection. Amulets in the shape of the Eye of Horus were often placed among the wrappings of mummies to ensure safe passage to the afterlife. It was believed to protect the soul during its journey and to help in the rebirth process. The eye could guide and watch over the deceased, much like Horus did for his father, Osiris. The Eye of Horus and sacred geometry. One of the lesser-known but deeply magical aspects of the Eye of Horus lies in its connection to mathematics and sacred geometry. As mentioned, the components of the Eye of Horus correspond to mathematical fractions used by Egyptian scribes. This early form of binary representation showed an understanding of the parts making a whole, foundational to Egyptian measurements, medicine, and architecture. Beyond this, the eye's shape and curvature are often related to the golden ratio and the structure of the human pineal gland, leading some modern esoteric thinkers to associate it with the third eye, a center of spiritual insight. While this link is not grounded in ancient Egyptian texts, the resonance between ancient symbols and the modern mystical imagination contributes to the eye's enduring magic. Esoteric interpretations and occult symbolism. Throughout history, the Eye of Horus has been interpreted in esoteric and occult traditions as a powerful symbol of spiritual insight, inner vision, and divine wisdom. Some of the mystical meanings attributed to the eye include 1. Third eye activation. In contemporary spiritual circles, the Eye of Horus is often linked to the third eye chakra, ajna in yogic traditions, which governs intuition, foresight, and inner wisdom. The stylized eye is seen as a map to higher consciousness, unlocking the hidden truths of the universe. 2. Divine balance. The myth of Horus and Set is not just about good versus evil, but also about balance between opposing forces, order and chaos, light and dark, reason and passion. The restored eye signifies equilibrium, suggesting that true vision comes from reconciling opposites within oneself. 3. Alchemy and transformation. In alchemical symbology, the Eye of Horus is seen as a symbol of the transformative power of suffering and renewal. Just as Horus endured pain and was made whole again, so too must the spiritual seeker go through trials to emerge wiser and more integrated. The Eye of Horus in modern culture. The magic of the Eye of Horus did not end with the fall of ancient Egypt. Instead, it has transcended time and culture to become a universal symbol seen in art, fashion, architecture, and spiritual literature. 1. Pop culture and media. The Eye of Horus appears in everything from jewelry to tattoos, from movies to video games. It is often used to evoke mystery, ancient wisdom, and secret knowledge. In many fictional works, it symbolizes hidden power or protection from supernatural forces. 2. New Age and metaphysical beliefs. Modern spiritual practitioners often use the Eye of Horus in meditations, chakra work, or energy healing. Some believe meditating on the symbol can open the third eye or enhance psychic abilities. 3. Conspiracy theories. Due to its eye-like form, the Eye of Horus has often been confused or conflated with the all-seeing eye, a Masonic or Illuminati symbol. While their origins are distinct, both symbols are used to suggest watchfulness, hidden authority, or enlightenment. The enduring magic of the eye. So what is the true magic of the Eye of Horus? It is multifaceted. On one level, it is a protective amulet, a mathematical code, a religious relic. On another, it is a portal to higher understanding, an expression of divine balance, and a reminder that healing is possible, even after destruction. The story of the eye being wounded and restored resonates across time, cultures, and philosophies. Whether we view it as a symbol of health, power, spiritual insight, or mathematical perfection, the Eye of Horus continues to captivate our collective imagination. Its magic lies in its universality and its mystery, a mirror reflecting back our own search for wholeness, protection, and vision. References suggested for deeper reading. Wilkinson, Richard H. The Complete Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt. Thames and Hudson, 2003. Nadler, Jeremy. Temple of the Cosmos. The Ancient Egyptian Experience of the Sacred. Inner Traditions, 1996. Pinch, Geraldine. Magic in Ancient Egypt. British Museum Press, 1994. Budge, Ye Wallace. Egyptian Magic. Dover Publications, 1971. Andrews, Carol. Amulets of Ancient Egypt. University of Texas Press, 1994. Let me know if you would like this formatted as a Word document or if you need a visual illustration of the Eye of Horus's parts and their meanings. Thank you for joining us on this mystical journey into the wisdom of ancient Egypt and the Eye of Horus. We hope this exploration has inspired you to see this sacred symbol not just as history, but as a living guide for spiritual insight, protection, and balance. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with fellow seekers. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Stay tuned for more ancient mysteries and spiritual insights. Until next time, keep your third eye open and walk the path of light and higher consciousness.